Hello, I'm Michael Diamond, and you're watching Muscle Central. Okay, this is the 2020 Arnold Classic Finals wrap up. I'm not going to go through all the competitors. Okay, here we go. After prejudging, it appeared that it was going to be a battle for fifth and sixth between Cedric McMillan and Akeem Williams. By time finals rolled around, things got shuffled up a little bit. Cedric McMillan wound up taking sixth place. Cedric was good. His conditioning was good, and that's about it. Could have been, without a doubt, could have been a lot better, but it wasn't bad. I really can't argue his sixth place finish. But as far as fifth place, that happened to be Sergio Oliva Jr., who worked his way up and in the finals worked his way up into the top six. He looked a little small muscle-wise, but his conditioning was very good, very good. Structurally, I mean, Cedric McMillan beats just about everybody structurally, and I think what put Sergio ahead of him was basically the conditioning. Now, fourth place went to Steve Kuklo. Over the last few years, Steve Kuklo's been coming into his own. He's been making steady improvements. His conditioning is getting better and better, and he's been placing better and better in the big shows. He's a big man, a big structure, very wide, and personally, I probably would have, because of his conditioning, I probably would have put him into the third place slot. Third place went to Big Ramy, Mamdou Elsbey. Now, there was a big question mark going in. Of course, all the hype was around Big Ramy. His return to the competition stage after about a year and a half of not competing. And there was a lot of hype around it. We weren't sure what we were going to get, which Ramy was going to show up. And then see these little pictures slip out with that so-called death face, which usually is an indication that the person is a condition. Then we find out he's working with Chad Nichols and say, wow, maybe it's going to happen. Maybe he's really going to bring the conditioning. He might have had his best conditioning to date, but that's the case. It wasn't a lot better than his previous best. His conditioning was good. Nothing to rave about. He did improve in the finals from the prejudging, but I still don't think his conditioning was good enough for the third place. I would have had him fourth and Steve Kuklo third. He's Big Ramy. That's why they call him Big Ramy. He's a big man. But Steve Kuklo by no means looks small next to him. He, as far as size, he can hold his own standing next to Ramy. And on a conditioning level, I think Steve Kuklo took it. That's where he really, in my mind, moved ahead of Rami, and he should have been third. But it is what it is. Kuklo fourth, Rami third. Second place, Dexter Jackson. What can you say? The man's 50 years old. Won more pro shows than anybody. Won more titles than anybody. Holds the record for Arnold Classic Ohio's. I think it's 5. Worldwide, I think he holds 9 Arnold titles. You got the Arnold Classic Ohio, then you have the Arnold Classic in other countries, which he's won. I think it makes a total of 9 altogether. He said this going to be his last year competing. He may, if he was going out, looks like he's going out in style. He made a very good showing for this Olympia. His conditioning was very good. Maybe not his all-time best, but he's conditioned. Dexter, on his off days, outconditions a lot of other bodybuilders on their on days. The only thing he might have edged out a victory if he was a little bigger. He's never been the biggest bodybuilder out there. That's not his thing. But in the past, he was a little bigger. He carried a little more size. He looked a little smaller than he has in the past. And if he had that little extra size with his shape, flow, conditioning, his balance, his presentation, he might have been able to eke out another Arnold win. It didn't happen. Placed second, and it was well earned. William Bonac. After prejudging, it looked like he was a clear-cut winner. He was the shortest one on stage. He was the shortest one on stage. But inch for inch, man, is he packed with muscle. Thick, dense muscle. And it has that same quality with his muscle that Phil Heath was known for. When he hits his shots, they pop. His muscles just pop. He has that 3D look. And I've said it over and over again, he really has no weaknesses. His only shortcoming is, and it's totally out of his control, is his genetics, is his short torso, which can make his waist look a little blocky at times. But I've also said over and over again, as long as he brings in the conditioning, that becomes a non-factor. And he brought the conditioning, so that was really a non-factor. From the back, thick, dense, detailed muscle from the waist up, from the waist down, striated glutes, chiseled hamstrings. The guy is a dangerous, dangerous competitor. When he turns around to the front, his most muscular is terrific. His side chest is side triceps. He's not missing anything. And like I said, the thickness and the density of his muscle, from front to back, side to side, top to bottom, however which way you want to look at it. He actually reminds me of a smaller version of Ronnie Coleman. Uh, he he got a well-deserved victory. This win absolutely solidifies him as the number 2 bodybuilder in the world. Between his second place finish in the Olympia to Brandon Curry and his first place over here in the Arnold Classic, he is the number 2 bodybuilder in the world and probably the biggest threat to Brandon Curry. And let's see what happens come September at the Mr. Olympia. That's about it for this video. If you agree or disagree with anything I've said here, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share and by all means subscribe. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. This way, every time I put up a new video, you will be notified. Once again, this is Michael Diamond, and I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.